Well, good evening. This is Steve Ritchie. I am just posting the last film of my St. George. I finished doing the fabricating side of it. I will get this galvanised and painted, so there might be a little clip of me doing it, but I've got some dragons to galvanise and paint and mess about and install, so perhaps I'll make a film of all three. So, St. George, I got it to a stage at the end of the last film where I'd made some major parts, but now it's down to the detail. Swords, weapons, shields attached, and doing what I intended it to do, which is to drag a severed head of a slain dragon. Now, St. George is England's patron saint, and of course the United Kingdom is made up of 4 kingdoms, England being one of them, and we've got Scotland, and we've got Ireland, Northern Ireland, and we've got Wales, and they've all got their own saints, and ours is St. George, signified with a white background and a red cross, which if you look at the Union Jack, that's in our Union Jack, and you'll see the Scottish flag, and etc, etc. So this is where we are. So I'm making it all up out of memory, out of what I can remember as a crusader type knight, which was how it was portrayed to me as a very young child. And of course the truth is that's not what he was. He was probably a Turk, a mercenary. He was tortured and had his head chopped off, as I said in the last film, so he didn't have a great time, but he kept true to his faith, and that's why he's a patron saint of not only the United Kingdom but other countries as well. And yeah, I've got a few techniques that sort of seem to work quite well from a distance, and will certainly work after these things are galvanised and stuff, so yeah. But getting things to look right and natural, and making the hands was particularly difficult, particularly a sort of a gauntleted type of hand. So it's just a bit of round, chopped at an angle, little ball on the knuckles, welded in, and then bashed about from there. And it gave an impression of a fist in a gauntlet, hanging onto a handle of an axe, or dragging a chain, whatever. It seems to work very well. I really quite like the what came out in the end. I've been sidetracked, so if you're wondering why there's been a big gap between films, I've been renovating cars, I've been renovating toilet blocks for myself, I've been helping a neighbour move by making a few little things from him, had some visits from a student from the Canterbury Art College. I just thought I'd give her a chance to have a little go of MIG welding, something she's not really done a lot of in the past. And yeah, it's all quite successful. And yeah, needed to finish this item. I've got now 1, 2, 3 major items and a couple of little bits to take to the galvanisers, because all this sort of stuff will end up sitting outside. Starting to get a little bit of want to get a little bit prepared. We're doing a show at Tenterden this year, which is end of this month. I shall give you a heads up close to the time, and I'm decided to sit in with a band as well. I'm going to be a bass player for a couple of gigs, just helping a mate out, a friend of which I hope to either co-write or perform some songs with as well. He's a very talented singer-songwriter, and when I had my 60th birthday I decided that's what I was going to do. Now, the dragon head has been around for a few years. It was actually made for another dragon. Eyes and things were in the wrong place, and it was a bit of a dopey dragon. And that's not the sort of dragon I wanted. And it was out of proportion with the body. So it's been languishing around, and I've been tripping over it for years. It must be at least 10 years old, this thing. So I brushed it a lot. I've taken some teeth out, made it a little bit more manageable. Made it look like St. George has wrapped a chain round its jaw and is dragging it off down the village to show the villagers that he's actually slain the dragon. But yeah, I had a bit of armoured stuff to make, had some weaponry to make, which was a bit of fun as well. I'm showing here what I did to make a sheath for the double-handed sword, and which must have been in real life a very heavy item to drag around, but yeah, he's got a number of belts and things around his waist which will support this. And yeah, took a bit of film footage of me doing this. I've been messing about with a few different cameras as well. I bought a couple of second-hand GoPros, and I'm busy sort of trying to make mounting places for them around in the workshop, so I'm not distracted too much taking them in and out. I shall leave one on time lapse all day and see if I can get some interesting bits of film footage to make the whole YouTube process for me a little bit easier. Struggling with my computer at the moment. It's been messing about, so these films have been taking me ages, the last couple of films, but yeah, we'll see. So again, all mild steel, a little bit of brass. Before I take it off to the galvanisers, I've obviously got to remove all the brassware and then reattach it after I've had it galvanised. I've messed about with a bit of paint and stuff. So that's where we are now. The last few days on this have actually been quite good fun. You know, the struggle of getting all the proportions right is, yeah, it's been a lot more difficult to do old St. George than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought this would be a bit of a walk in the park, but it hasn't at all. Not in the slightest. It's been really quite a difficult one. I'd like to make a full scene with a maiden, but as old St. George is taking me so long, I don't know about doing the maiden now. I need a female model to be able to really make it work anyway, and find the right pose, and perhaps, yeah, do a little bit more working out on sizes than just doing a doodle on my bench like I normally do. But there you are, happy with the end result. It looks great in the sunshine, and thanks for being so patient. This is just one of 3 films, so if you want to look back, go and subscribe, find me other films of me making this. You're very welcome to do so. I've just passed the 300 mark, so thank you for that. I like the ideas, the numbers are ticking away. They're gradually going up. I don't press and push this too hard, so yeah, they've sort of come along naturally. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you like old St. George. I'll probably have this one displayed at Tenston. Hopefully I'll have it all painted up by then and ready for sale. This one's for sale, boys and girls. All right, thanks very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you all later. Ta-ta.